Too often we get excited at the beginning of vision. Whenever we get the vision, we start it, we get super excited, and then over time, we lose the fire. The excitement fades. So what I want to talk about today is how do we keep the vision burning bright? Hey, welcome to the Purpose Project podcast. I'm so excited that you're on here today. It means so much that you would be a part of this community with us. Maybe you've been with us from the beginning and you've been journeying with us the whole time, or maybe you just jumped in and this is your first episode. I want to say thank you. I don't take that lightly at all that you're here. Here's the purpose of what we're doing. What we really want to become is a tool, a coaching tool to help people uncover and walk in the purpose God has put on the inside of them. We believe everybody has a purpose from God, and we just want to be a coaching tool that helps us uncover that and walk it out to the best of our abilities and become all God has for us. If you'd like to help us out at all, I'd love for you to like, share, review this podcast. I'd love for you to subscribe on whatever platform you're watching or listening on. Or even post about it on social media. You can tag me, Pastor B Goff, Goff. I'd love to see your post and even share it with some friends to help us get the word out a little bit more and uncover and walk in the purpose that more of us have. So today, I want to continue a series of talks that we began a couple weeks ago about qualities of high capacity leaders. Qualities of high capacity leaders. The idea is we are all leaders. All of us are leaders. Maybe you're watching or listening to this and maybe you're the CEO of your business, or maybe you lead a team at work, or maybe you just lead your family. We're all leaders. I know in my context, I'm a pastor of a church in Columbia, South Carolina, with a campus in Florence, South Carolina, called Radiate Church. And we have staff and we have leaders and tons of people. And so that's my leadership. That in my home are my leadership capacities. But I want to talk about, over the course of my career in life, some of the qualities that I've seen high quality, high capacity leaders walk out. Every tombstone in a graveyard, I know you're kind of like, whoa, this just took a grim turn, right? Well, every tombstone in a graveyard has two dates on it. You know this. There's the day you were born and the day someone passed, right? So the date they were born and the date they passed. In between those two dates, you know what it is. There's a dash. There's a little line between the born date and the passed away date. And that dash represents their life. It represents whatever their life was. The dash doesn't differentiate or look different for a good life or a bad life, a rich life or a poor life, a high capacity leader or a low capacity leader, a believer in Christ or not a believer in Christ. The dash is just the dash. It is the life that you lived while on earth. It's just the life you lived. I would suspect, in fact, I strongly believe, some of the greatest songs, some of the greatest books, some of the greatest sermons, some of the most meaningful relationships, some of the deepest thoughts were never actually experienced because they stayed with the person out of fear, and they stayed with the person out of vision fading, and they are now buried somewhere in those graves because somewhere along the way, they didn't execute the purpose during the dash. Today, I want to ask you this question. It's an overarching thing. I ask myself this question a lot in my life. I won't go into the details. Maybe it's a future episode. But at 23 years old, I was diagnosed with a heart condition. I had a pacemaker implanted, to which I still have to this day. There's multiple medical things that I have to pay attention to and all those things. But when you have something like that dramatically happen in your life, it makes you think about the dash. I think about and ask myself about the dash a lot. What is my life going to look like? So I want to ask you this today. What do you want your dash to represent? What do you want your dash to represent? The life you're living on earth, the purpose God's called you to. What does that look like? Vision is the ability to see that dash. Vision is the ability to see what could or should be regardless of what is. Vision is the ability to see in the future and see what something could or should be, regardless of what you currently see it as. You can walk into someone that's a visionary as a leader, can walk into an empty room and see the room full. They can see the room renovated into what they want it to be. Vision is a strong driving force that causes movement. It causes execution. It causes internal drive. It causes demand and discipline, rhythm, right? And when you answer the question, what do I want my dash to represent? Here's what you're really doing. You're really answering the question, what is the vision of my life? What do I want to accomplish? What vision do I have for my life? How am I going to execute? What do I want to leave in and for my family? Who do I want to invest in, as we talked about last week, right? Or 2 weeks ago. Who do I want to spend my life with? What do I want to be known for when my time has come to an end? It's vision. I'm answering the question of, what vision do I have for my life? With vision, you can motivate your team or your family. You can motivate your team or family with vision. People are motivated by vision. Even if they don't see it right now, when you see it and believe in it, they're motivated by it. Or without vision, you can discourage them. It feels like we're just doing tasks and just getting through the day and just trying to survive. Vision helps you know that you're thriving, you're alive, we're chasing something. Lack of vision in your family, lack of vision in your team at work, then it's discouraging, it's frustrating, it's boring, if you will. With vision, you can move in unison, in unity, toward the same goal. Or without vision, you can all go your own way and hope that you end up at the same place. With vision, it creates unity. It goes, hey, this is where we're going and we're going to do this together. And this is the accomplishment and the execution. And this is how we're going to get there. And we're going to get there in unity. But without vision, you're just really going, hey, just go do your thing. I hope we end up at the same address at the end of the day. It's not going to work out very well most times. With vision, you can all celebrate the win together. With vision, you know what to celebrate. You know what you're cheering for. You know what you're excited about, and you get to do that together. It's coming together and throwing a party because you landed that big sale. You're coming together and you're throwing a party because of an achievement for your kids. We're same vision, same goal, same celebration. But without vision, you celebrate separate wins, but don't really accomplish much. I did this, but it didn't really accomplish the main thing. I'm just celebrating something awkward and something one-off, if you will. Vision creates unity and unison. In Psalm chapter 29, verse 18, the psalmist says this: where there is no vision, I love the way the New American Standard Version puts it, the people are unrestrained. Here's what that means. In other words, there's nothing guiding their way and keeping everyone on the same path, right? They're unrestrained. They're not chained to, they're not hemmed in, they're not walking together in the same direction for the same purpose. They're not doing all that. In fact, everyone does their own things and hopes to accomplish the same result. And there's nothing. It says where there is no vision, people are unrestrained. They just do whatever, whenever, however they want. Well, if that part is true, then the flip must be true. The reverse must be true. That when there is vision, there's restraint, there's discipline, there's rhythm. We're going to walk this way and do this thing, and we're going to accomplish it together. And this is what it looks like. It creates a unity. Vision creates a unity in your family. Vision creates a unity in your workplace. Vision creates a unity at home, wherever you are. The hard part of vision, however, when you get one, is, vision can fade, and it can fade fast. If we're honest, life, I like saying it like this, life just lifes. Sometimes life hits and it just discourages and frustrates and it just gets hard, and you start the vision and you're running the race and you're doing the things you need to do with your family, or you're doing the things you need to do at work, or you're doing the things you need to do with your spiritual life, and you're chasing that vision, and then life lives. A bill comes due that you weren't ready for, or your son or daughter make a really bad decision, or you have to fire somebody at work and there's layoffs that have to happen, or whatever it is, and all these things take place, and discouragement sets in, and frustration sets in, and maybe I'm not seeing the progress I want as fast as I want, and the vision begins to fade, and we're not as excited as we were, and we're not as passionate as we were, and we don't talk about it to our team and to our family as much. And so now the fire of vision is beginning to fade. It's beginning to die out and get cold again. I've actually heard it said like this: vision leaks. Vision leaks. It's like there's a hole in the boat, and there's constantly vision just leaking out of that hole, just dripping out of the hole in the boat or the hole in the bucket. There's just it doesn't stay by accident. You have to intentionally and strategically keep the fire of vision burning in your family, in your life, and with your team. So here's a few things to think about to keep your vision from fading in your life, your leadership, and your faith, okay? Number one, think about this. Remind yourself of it. Remind yourself of the vision. Make your vision known to yourself as often as possible. Yes, I'm the weird guy telling you to talk to yourself, all right? Talk to yourself. Tell yourself the vision. Tell yourself what God's called you to. Remind yourself, hey, God's called me to this. God has gifted me with this. I have a purpose in my life for this. I want to accomplish A, B, and C. I want to do this. This is my goal. This is my vision for health and fitness. This is my vision for my spiritual walk. This is my vision for my family. Whatever it is, remind yourself of the vision. If you don't remember or know the vision, watch this. Nobody else is going to either. It's hard to get people on task toward a vision, on board with a vision that you don't even know. You can't sell something you don't know about. So remind yourself of the why behind the what. The why always comes before the what. The what gets tiring. The what gets boring. But the why, man, that makes you excited. That gets you pumped up. That gets you ready to go. Remind yourself of the vision. Remind yourself of the why. Vision is the why. It's the drive to keep you going. And if you aren't excited about the vision, nobody else is going to be excited about the vision. Be excited about what God's called you to do. Write your vision on your mirror. Use a dry erase marker and write your vision on your bathroom mirror. Make a graphic and put it as the background on your phone or your computer. Put it as a sticky note on your computer monitor, right, where you'll see it. Whatever you have to do to keep the vision in front and in center of your life, to remind you what God is calling you to do it. Remind yourself of the vision. Here's number two. Remind your team of the vision. Again, if you lead a team at work, I'm talking about your employees and your coworkers. If you have a family, I'm talking about your family. If you're at church, I'm talking about your leaders and your staff, right? Talk about the vision all the time. Why are you doing this? Why does this matter? You know, like for me, it's a deep purpose why I pastor this church. It's not to just grow a crowd and just attract people. I really and truly want to see people walk in the purpose God has for their life. That's why I do this podcast. It's not just for a bunch of people to listen, which I hope a bunch of people do, because the more people that listen and the more people that attend our church, the more that I know we can get the goodness of Jesus and the purpose of God in their life. That's what we're doing this for. There's a why. Why are you chasing the vision? Talk about it all the time. Remind your family, remind your team. Find ways to tie the vision into your celebrations, right? When you celebrate a success, when you celebrate an accomplishment, talk about the why that matters. Talk about why that they did that, right? So one of the things I do in my family, I travel a good bit and I'll go preach other places and do leadership training and all these things. And so when I come back from a trip, I'll sit my kids down and I'll tell them, hey, because you were cool with your dad leaving for a couple days, because you were cool with me going off to another state or another town or whatever for a short amount of time, this is what happened. This person gave his life to Jesus, or I was able to help this church, or I was able to help this business do A, B, and C. And you made a difference in that. And here's why that matters, because God's called us all to do something great, and you allowed me to go help somebody do that. I'm always trying to attach the why to that. Strategize on not how to accomplish a goal, but how to chase the vision together. If you're chasing the vision, you'll accomplish the goal. Strategize on that. Start with the why of the vision as much as possible. Always find ways to tie in the celebrations, and always find ways to tie the vision to the corrections as well, right? The why always matters. Here's a leadership nugget that has helped me so much in life. When I'm tired of saying it, they're just now hearing it. You ever said something 1,000,000 times to your team or your family, and then just randomly one day they say it like it's the greatest epiphany in the world, and you're like, I've been saying that for a year. It's because when you're tired of saying it, they're just now hearing it. Share the vision as much as possible. And number 3, celebrate as much as possible. Celebrate. We talked about celebration in a previous episode about the old leadership adage, what's celebrated is repeated. Celebrate as much as you can in any way that you can. Celebrate your team's successes. Celebrate your successes. Celebrate what you're accomplishing. Celebrate the little milestones along the way. One of the things I was actually thinking about this the other day when I was preparing for this episode, that whenever we launched this project, this Purpose Project podcast, and when we launched it, the day of launch, the day the first episode came out, my team threw a party. They had my favorite. They had chicken minis for breakfast, and we had cupcakes, and actually it was little bundt cakes. And we just partied and we celebrated, and it was just a moment to go, hey, we're chasing vision, but here's a milestone along the way. Let's celebrate together. I thought it was really special and honoring to me, but it was just really special to celebrate together. Throw parties for milestones. Make a spectacle of someone accomplishing a key part of the vision. Give updates and scoreboards about where you are as a team, and talk about the good parts, not just the bad ones. One of the things that we do to make sure this happens on our staff is we start every staff meeting with celebrations. We just want to celebrate for a little while. We just want to talk about the good things and what's happening. Now we get to the fixes, but we want to celebrate. Celebration makes the vision contagious, and it makes it fun instead of cumbersome and difficult. It takes some time and get into the vision and really stoke the fires of that vision and celebrate what God's doing with you and with your team and what God's called you to. So this week, take a few moments and just ask yourself, what do I want my dash to represent? What is the vision in my family? What is the vision at work? What is the vision personally and spiritually? What is my vision? What do I want my dash to represent? What is my why for that dash? Why am I doing this? Take that why and turn it into something you think about, you pray about, you strategize about. Take it to God and go, hey, God, speak into this for me. Help me strategize around this and be intentional with it. Write it down. Talk to your spouse, or if you don't have a spouse, or your group of friends, your closest group of friends about it. Involve your team in the why. Involve your team in the vision. Get everyone on the same page for the vision, your kids, your spouse, your team at work, whatever it is, and watch the dash of your life come to life. I think it'll make a massive difference whenever you begin to chase vision, and don't let the fire burn out on the vision of your life. God's got a great purpose for you, and I can't wait for you to find the vision and begin to live it out. Now, next week, we're going to talk about the discipline of being teachable and how powerful that is. It's a core value that will help you unlock the purpose God's put on the inside of you. But I want you to remember this. You matter to me, you matter to God. You have a purpose, and you can change the world. Now let's get after it. I'll see you next week.